back here. Another one on the Scalextric trucks tonight. Sorry crossbow fans, I am waiting for Lee to get in touch with the parts I need to continue on the crossbow build on the quick change EK limb set. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this. A few weeks ago I showed you guys my Road Train Mark 1 low loader. There's a little beauty here. And the motor, after 30 years in storage, was seized and packed up. So I robbed the motor out of this one, swapped the chassis over. So this was actually got the dead motor in it. So what we're going to be doing tonight, I'm going to show you how to check and test the motor and renovate your truck if it's no longer working, and where you can get the motors from and what to look for. Back after this word. Okay guys, so the first thing obviously you need to do, check power. You can do it by using a PP9 square terminal battery, stick it across the contact, see if the motor runs. The motor will run, but there's not sufficient torque or power in the motor to give you drive on this actual truck. Now, the motors for these trucks aren't the standard Scalextric motor or Johnson motor or this type of motor. They're a Maybach motor, or at least that's the model name. A Maybach E18 motor is the ones you need for the Scalextric trucks. They don't come with any gearing on the motor either. The reason being why, this is the same motor used today by Hornby in the Class 58 3-axe, 3 Coco bogie locomotive. So should you need one, that's where you would need to get one. These have been using Scalextrics for at least 20 years, so looking at the Scalextrics are going to be hard. Alternative, Hornby Railways, sister company, parent company, Class 58 locomotive, still in production, still use this motor, and that's what you got. So what we're going to do is now, we're going to go over to the track, which is a piece section track, I lay it on the table, as you can see how I test it with a circuit tester to get everything going. A few things which can cause you problems and what to do in order of preparation, okay? First thing, common sense, check your brushes. Are your brushes good condition, clean and tidy? If not, switch your braids, switch out your brushes. Next step, check your contacts up underneath on the blades. Are they making contact with your brushes? It could be a break in a wiring, it could be poor connections on the motor itself. So first thing, like I said, put on a track and test it, and that's what we'll do now. Okay guys, here's our test track. Just an old piece of track. Got your power base, got your controller, that's all you need. So you've got a vehicle, you know it works. And that's all you need is working. So this is a truck with a faulty motor. As you can see, nothing, dead. You're pushing it, just about moves. As with this system, so it's for some reason it's not getting sufficient power to make it work. The braids are good, the connections are good. So what we're going to do next, we're going to strip it and have a look at the motor. Guys, here we are at my workshops. Haha. Piece of cake to strip. One screw on the back of the cab, one screw into the towing hitch, and then 4 screws down the chassis. 1, 2, 3, and the one I said the top 4. So there's actually 5 screws to take out. Okay? Okay. So you've got your cab apart, you've got your chassis apart, and you should be left with just the motor. You've taken your drivetrain out, you're left with the motor, the suppressor, and your contacts. So there's nothing else to stop this from working. So we're going to go back to the track, plug it in, and see what happens. Okay, here we are at the track. You've got our contacts, our brushes, they're all connected. And you are, the motor is barely turning. It could be the wires, it could be suppressor, it could be the brushes, it could be contacts. Now these are hard to get hold of the brushes for and to replace them. So we're just going to fit the new Maybach motor, new wires and a new suppressor. Okay guys, so first thing you do, get our wire testing working. So this motor with the wiring already on and the front blades, I just plug this into the track, test it, it's working. So we know the wire's good, the contacts are good, the pickups are good. And we also know that the suppressor is good on the motor. This little guy here. As opposed to this 1980s one, this massive thing here. The motor, I've taken out of one of these. A standard nondescript bag of poop. I got a couple of them around, which I use for spare parts because they're cheap and I can throw them away. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to replace these wires here with the wires and suppressor off here and fit it to the new Maybach motor. Don't do this off camera because it's going to be quite fiddly and trying to control the camera whilst I solder the wires at the same time. Okay guys, we're back at the test track. So here's the original road train with the motor of the second one, tooling along quite nicely. And here's our repaired one, those Formula 1 wheels, and off she goes. And it does make a difference, you guys looking. I got on the back here a new set of sticky Formula 1 tyres, as a pair compared to the old type that used to be on the Porsche, when the hard tyres. And there we go. Yeah, guys. So, bit of good news as well. When I was doing the change of the motor itself, rather than going straight to putting the new suppressor on and new wires, I refitted the old suppressor and wires just to test in case there was a breakage in the wire. And it wasn't, so it's actually got the original suppressor, that great big square one, and the original wiring. So it's just the motor itself which has been changed. Now when you change the motor, there's a brass cog or gear on the end of the shaft. It was extremely difficult to get off. I tried using a press to get it out. There's a little noddy on the end of it, which you think goes through the shaft. It doesn't. It's part of the shaft. It's part of the brass gear itself. So you need to get underneath and gently lever off the gear and keep it as tidy as possible without too much damaging to fit onto the new one. I caused a little bit of damage, so I had to spend a little bit of time filing down in between the teeth to fit it onto the new motor. But here's the new motor fitted. Didn't bother changing braids because they're working good. Good pickup as you've just seen. Okay, so that's one now working truck. The next one we're going to do is this one. Modern truck with the quick change blade system. But what I'm going to do with this is do a complete custom job and convert it into the Leyland Road Train Cabriolet. So stay tuned for that one. I should be coming in a week or two. Okay guys, thanks and bye bye.